What if I told you that just a 21-mile wide stretch of water controls nearly 1/5 of the world's oil supply, and if it gets blocked, the global economy could collapse within days? This is not a theory. It's a real choke point, known as the Strait of Hormuz. So the question is, who controls it? And what happens if it's shut down? Every day, nearly 20 million barrels of oil pass through this narrow corridor. That's oil powering cars in America, factories in China, and homes across Europe and India. Without it, fuel prices skyrocket, stock markets crash, and nations begin to panic. This isn't just geography. This is the heartbeat of the global economy. The importance of the Strait of Hormuz dates back to the early 20th century, when massive oil reserves were discovered in the Middle East. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, and the UAE became some of the world's largest oil producers. But there was one problem. All that oil had to leave the region, and the only major exit route was this narrow strait between Iran and Oman. Over time, it became a strategic bottleneck. During the 1980s, in the Iran-Iraq War, both sides attacked oil tankers in what became known as the Tanker War. Even back then, the world saw how fragile this route really was. Today, the Strait of Hormuz sits at the center of global tension. On one side is Iran, which borders the strait and has repeatedly warned it could block the passage if threatened. On the other side are global powers, especially the United States, which maintains a strong naval presence to keep it open. Why? Because if Iran closes the strait, even temporarily, oil supply drops instantly. In recent years, we've seen oil tankers seize drone attacks on energy facilities, military standoffs in the Gulf. Each incident sends shockwaves through global markets. This isn't just regional politics. This is a global pressure point. As of 2026, tensions remain high. Iran continues to expand its military capabilities in the region. Meanwhile, global demand for oil is still strong, especially from rapidly growing economies. At the same time, alternative routes are limited. Pipelines exist, but they can't replace the massive volume that flows through the Strait of Hormuz every single day. And here's the reality. Even a minor disruption, a single attack, a blockade, or a conflict can cause oil prices to spike globally within hours. That means higher fuel prices, increased cost of goods, economic instability worldwide. So what happens next? There are three possible futures. Stability continues. Global powers maintain balance. The strait stays open, but tensions never fully disappear. Conflict escalates. A military clash could shut down the strait. Oil prices could surge beyond $150 per barrel, triggering a global economic crisis. The world adapts. Countries invest more in renewable energy and alternative routes, reducing dependence on this choke point. But that transition takes time. And for now, the world is still heavily dependent on this narrow passage. The Strait of Hormuz is more than just a body of water. It's a gateway, a bottleneck, and one of the most powerful geopolitical levers on Earth. Because in today's interconnected world, a single narrow strait can influence the price of fuel in your city, the stability of nations, and the future of global power. So the next time fuel prices rise, remember, it might all come down to a tiny stretch of water in the Middle East. If you want more deep geopolitical breakdowns like this, subscribe to GeoCipher, because the world is more connected and more fragile than it looks.